Welcome to the Hawks Nest, the home for all your Hawks and NBL news. I'm your host, Glenn Saville, and we've got a great show for you this week. We'll have all the news from round 18, and on the panel this week from your Wollongong Hawks, we have Tim Coenraad as well as Nat Sullivan from andthefoul.net. Now, let's take a look at the top stories from around the league. The Hawks' red-hot form has continued, with the boys grabbing big wins over both Townsville and Sydney over the weekend. The Hawks beat the Crocs 90-75 at home before backing up the next night with a 102-84-point win over the Kings in Sydney, with Rodney Clark scoring a season-high 39 points. Meanwhile, an ugly brawl that broke out post-game between the Wildcats and the 36ers made national news and resulted in the NBL launching an official investigation. This week, 2 charges have been issued, with 36ers coach Joey Wright charged with allegedly striking Wildcats assistant coach Adam Tatalovich, while James Ennis has been charged with allegedly striking Mitch Creek. Both clubs have also been hit with a code of conduct breach for this incident. We will have more on this coming up in the panel. In other news, Adelaide have released struggling import Jared Fry and brought back NBL veteran Reece Carter. Carter comes in just before the cut-off for teams bringing in new players and was preparing to play in the Seabull after returning from playing in Sweden. The Kings have honoured Matty Nielsen on Saturday night with the 2-time NBL champion added to the Kings' Wall of Legends. Nielsen, a member of Sydney's 25th anniversary team, started his career at the Kings, winning Rookie of the Year honours before leaving the Kings in 2004 after their second championship to continue his career in Europe. The fans have spoken and the Hawks have listened. Hawks management have responded to fan feedback and have announced that for the next 2 games, tickets for adults are just $15, $10 for kids and $40 for a family pass. This week, the Hawks celebrate Heritage Round against the New Zealand Breakers with a limited edition commemorative jersey available for purchase at the game. Now, let's have a look at the results from round 18 and the ladder standings with only 5 rounds to go. As we mentioned earlier, the Hawks are on fire at the moment, having won 3 in a row. We caught up with some of the players from both teams after their win against the Crocs on Friday night. I'm here with the NBL's version of the Plastic Man, Stacey Orgman. How do you find, man, you're turning yourself inside out there on the court and managed to finish these buckets? You've got a great way of finishing out there.
Oh, I mean, it's part of my game. I've been doing it for a while.
What are you eating, by the way?
Chocolate or heart. Somebody gave it to me, asked me to be a Valentine, but hitting here or there. But, I mean, it's just part of my game. I mean, I'm just trying to orchestrate it and put it into Gordy's system. I mean, you know how it is.
Mate, great contributions from everyone across the board the last couple of home games.
Yeah, there's been a huge difference in our aggressiveness, I believe. You know, when we're getting our stops and getting rebounds, we're just pushing it. You know, Adelaide were worried about their transition game, and we gave them our own medicine. And tonight is much of the same. You know, it's like we've discovered, you know, 2/3 of the way through the season that we can actually run and, you know, look to be aggressive, and it's working well for us.
And play defence.
At times. Yeah, definitely everyone's pretty happy. Everyone's been contributing pretty well over the last couple of weeks, and it's shown. You know, we've had 2 pretty good wins, and we've got to carry them on in the next month. We've got a few hoe games, which helps us. So.
How's your frame feeling, mate? You spent a bit of time in hospital during the season. You missed some games through that, but how you have you bounced back from it? Okay?
Yeah, I was in hospital for 7 days, just laying on a bed. So it took a couple of weeks to get my legs back, but I'm starting to feel good now. You know, practice has been pretty good, so hopefully we get another win next week and we should be right. We're finally sticking to our game plan. You know, there are times that we, you know, deviate, and there are times, you know, they hit threes and, you know, Mitch Norton hits a few threes, but that's in the game plan. You know, we're saying over the whole game he's going to miss more than he makes. Sometimes it doesn't exactly work out like that. But, you know, we are then pitching on people like Markovic and making his game a bit tougher and taking away from him.
Are you enjoying the way you guys are playing right now?
Yeah, I mean, how you say, these wins, everybody love to win. Winning is always
and
good.
It wouldn't be a Hawks game without Kevin Tibbs didn't miss a dunk. What's going on?
Yeah, it slipped. I be sweating too much, man.
Here with Josh Pace. You were teammates with Carmelo Anthony. Has he told you how I gave him a couple of buckets at the Olympics?
Oh yeah, you gave him a couple of buckets?
I think it might have been just one. I do actually have it on a photo. Mate, the lone range on the scoreboard for Townsville tonight. What were your thoughts on the game?
We didn't do anything on defense. They had been playing good. They jumped on Adelaide last week, so we knew coming in it was going to be a tough one, and they got a tough game tomorrow. So we weren't ready to play, and it showed up.
Brian Conklin, you've made a transition from New Zealand to Australia. How's that been for you?
It's been pretty good. No, it's definitely been a fun game. It's a lot quicker, that's for sure. You know, the guards are a lot smarter, a lot more athletic, but it's fun.
Yeah, a lot of the three men are a lot smarter. Now that I'm not in the league, they're not. But how's your transition been? And also from living in New Zealand to living in Townsville?
It's 180.
Where's your tan, by the way?
Yeah, 360. I don't tan, I burn. There's the red in me. So, no, I was in Invercargill, so it was cold as heck, and now to go to Townsville, and it's humid as heck, it's 360. So, yeah, I definitely need to work on the tan.
Now, you're not long out of college, and you've only been playing professionally for a short period of time. Any chance you might want to hang around Australia for a bit longer? Or?
Yeah, definitely. I'd love to. You know, it's really nice. You know, Harry's told me some good things about Wollongong, so, you know, who knows. But it's been good. I've had a good time, so I'd love to stay here.
And what are your thoughts been about our league and about living in Australia? What's it been like for you?
I've liked it personally. It's a tough league. It's a good league. I'm glad I got a chance to get over here finally. So,
you want to stay out here for a while?
I mean, we'll see what happens. You know, it depends on a few things. I'm going to talk to Carmelo about that basket. See if it happens. For real.
He would have forgotten about that surely by now.
Hey.
Welcome back to the show. Time to take an in-depth look at the issues around the league. This week we're joined by Tim Coenraad and from andthefoul.net, Nat Sutherland. Welcome to the show, boys. Timmy with you first. The Hawkies on absolute fire. Great weekend too.
Oh, you can't ask for a better weekend. You know, 2 wins out of 2. 3 in a row now. So we're playing good basketball. We're getting our points up towards the hundreds, which is not really our style. We like to keep teams, you know, to about 80 and then try and get on top of them in the 80s. But we've scored 100 a few times, so it's a new ground for us. But we're excited.
And what would you put it down to at this stage? It was pretty rough, some rough parts throughout the season, but I've really enjoyed, particularly the home games. You guys have been putting on some pretty good shows.
Well, it's you know, it starts with Rodney. You know, when he's being aggressive, he just draws so much attention. He's able to kick it out to guys like Oscar, like Larry, you know, like myself. We got a lot of shooters on our team, and when Rodney gets in the paint like he does, we're a pretty hard team to stop. So, you know, and having a court general like Reese out there, who's at full strength now too, running the team, it's it's a pretty tough combination having them and the 1-2 in the backcourt.
And Nat, your take on the Hawks at the moment?
Yeah, I think probably the most underrated player on the team is probably David Gruber. He's been averaging double-double the past couple of games.
Very consistent.
Yeah, he gets in there with Angie off the bench, dives after loose balls. You know, he's sort of play you can't really play for 35 minutes and expect that sort of production, but 5-minute spurts, he's probably the best in the league.
And with the starting lineup changing throughout the year, Larry got injured, Dave's been put in the starting lineup and had a good opportunity.
Yeah, he's been incredible. I mean, you know what you're going to get from Dave. He's an energy guy. You know, he's our inside target. He's our best post player, and getting him involved is probably something we need to do a bit more of. You know, so having him playing the way he is and getting double doubles, like you say, it really helps our team.
And Timmy, your role now, no longer coming off the bench, you're a starter. They got rid of the old driftwood. They finally moved you in as a starter. How have you found the transition doing that? It
was tough at first, but I think I've started to smooth into it. It's taken me a while to find my groove this year, but last few games I've been shooting the outside shot a little bit better. You know, we got Dave on the inside targets. Obviously, my role is to hit the open shot, try and guard someone if I can, and you know, try and play a bit of post. You know, every now and then I like a post game and a 3-point shot, and pretty much everyone knows that's what it is now. And you know, the opposite three on the other team, when they come in to see playing the Hawks, they're usually licking their lips. But we do a lot of zone and switching stuff. So obviously, I get to be hidden every now and then.
A lot of zone. The boys don't seem to be getting as lost as much as particularly the imports, as they were earlier in the season.
Yeah, well, we've tried to simplify things, and you know, having a few set defenses now that we can call on the run, and it's actually worked for us the last couple of weeks. So we're going to keep trying to stick with that. Now,
talking about Rodney Clark, MVP. Possibly, has he done enough this season? Has the team done enough for him to be in the picture to be an MVP? He's put up some pretty big performances.
It'd probably be either him or Innes. I mean, Golding's had a few off weeks now, and the way the MVP voting goes, it's pretty much Rodney's probably going to get those votes probably at the end of every single game, whereas Innes has Beal there, he has Reg there. There's lots of players that sort of come in and would steal a couple of those MVP votes there. But I think it'd either be Rodney or James, I'd say.
And where would you put him in the picture of all-time Hawks import? Do you need to do more than just one season to have an impact on that?
Yeah, I think if he just has a one and done, he'll be there with Doug Overton and Gary. But if he does any more than one season, then he may surpass Melvin Thomas and Storm and Norman probably.
Now, next round, Heritage round against New Zealand. You're rocking out some interesting colours for the. Well, it's great that these ones have come around, because the ones we wore last season or the season before, it was Heritage round, but they're only 3 years before I started playing, so it wasn't much of a heritage for me. But the blue and yellow Illawarra jersey, what do you reckon about rocking that one out?
Yeah, it's good for a change. I think it's good that the league's taken on the heritage round. You've seen the NBA do it with the throwbacks, and I think it's good that we're doing it now. It's a different look, and lets people know about because Wollongong's pretty proud of their heritage. Obviously the only team to be there from start to now. So to pay respect to those previous teams, I think is a pretty good thing to do.
It's heritage round in here tonight with the Ricky Jones throwback T-shirt.
But,
Where did that come from?
Oh, in the game tees, they hooked me up. Yeah, so they tried to find a Sav one, but it doesn't sell. So
No, I wouldn't imagine that one would sell real well. The other biggest news is now reports of a brawl. I would call it a little fracas. There's a couple of handbags being thrown around out there, but it is big news. What went on in Perth on Friday night?
Yeah, I think probably you and Madge had bigger battles than
I'd say
everything
so.
that happened there.
But we've gone all season. This is the biggest thing, or the only thing to come out at this stage. Last year we had people talking to Ben Madgen, throwing chairs. Yeah. There was clips over the back of the ears. There was trippings. This year, now we've got coaches involved. That's a big one.
Yeah, I think that's probably what made it blow up as big as it did, because Joey Wright got involved with the Wildcats assistant coach. If it wasn't for that, it probably would have not swept on the carpet, but it probably just would have been just a whatever, boys, carry on sort of thing.
Well, I do agree. I agree with Joey. Now, Joey has been cited for a punch. I don't know what it was, a little jab to the guts or something. But I agree with coaches don't get involved in that stuff. And I thought he'd done a pretty good job, sort of settled everything down a little bit. And then the assistant coach of the Wildcats, Tatalovic, jumps in and he just felt a bit disrespected. What do you reckon about that?
Well, Joey's comments that in the following press conference spoke about it. He was in there, said he was trying to calm things down. And then all of a sudden, this guy, slaps at his hand or whatever he'd done, whether it was a tickle or a scratch or something like that, it doesn't matter. Joey's pretty much said, you don't lay your hands on me, and he deserves a bit of respect from what he's done. And to have an assistant coach kind of thwart his effort to break things up, I think Joey just took it a bit personally, and he's a fiery kind of character. So if you do that to him, he's going to let you know about it.
Any idea where you reckon this one might go?
Probably just, I doubt it'll be games. It'll probably just be some money that the NBL won't make them pay. And
undisclosed amount.
Yeah.
Like Chris Anstey's undisclosed amount.
Yeah, and that will probably be all of that. I can't really see the NBL, risking losing some ticket sales by having James Innes not show up for a game or two.
Yeah, I know. He threw a little one over the top there, though.
Yeah, sneaky one at Mitch Creek, yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that one. Speaking of New Zealand, now a fan of yours, the guy rocking the Chet Faker beard, the former player turned commentator turned player, Casey Frank. What are your thoughts on what's going to happen there in New Zealand?
Yeah, I think he's been playing great. Great energy guy off the bench. He's 36, 37 later on this year. And, he's playing like it's, like it was when he was back in the Hawks, back when we used to play with him. It'll be interesting to see.
Doesn't seem like he's lost too much of that athleticism. No. We had a rough start. We've got to getting dunked on by James Ennis, and I had to have a little tweet at him for that one. But he seems to be going quite well.
Yeah, he's got that massive beard rocking, and I saw a tweet the other day that someone said that because I said what happened to his jersey, where's the name on his jersey, and they reckon it's covered by his beard.
Timmy, what are your thoughts on playing them this weekend? And we are talking about the mathematics of the finals, and I know you pay close attention to that. You're probably not trying to think about it too much, but you guys are playing some pretty good big ball, and one team that will be in the way of that would be New Zealand.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you look at the ladder right now, if we were to beat them this weekend, then we leapfrog them for another spot. So, I mean, like you say, you can throw a blanket over that backpack, and one win just means so much in the grand scheme of things. So, I mean, they're all big ones from here on for us to make the playoffs, but you're always looking for the first one ahead. And like New Zealand's a good team. They've shown signs of their championship quality team, and they've shown signs where they've struggled a little bit. But I think everyone starts to hit their straps at the end of the season, and obviously this game isn't going to be taken lightly at all, which no one should. So. New Zealand's going to be a tough competitor, and I'm looking forward to it.
I'm not sure I've ever seen a team move up and down the ladder as much as the Hawks. You guys have been up and down like a bride's 90.
I know.
I'll use that on the show, but anyway. So what's your thoughts?
Yeah,
finals, just all the teams. I'd say the top three would be pretty much sewn up there. Sydney losing the Hawks on the weekend.
And Sydney have the Hawks again.
Yep.
And the Hawks have got 4 out of the last 6 games at home. So it's up to the Hawks now to sort of to get in there. They play all the teams they have to beat to get in there, obviously. It's up to them. It'll be a pretty tough task, but we've got Rodney, so.
All right. Everyone out there is thinking, what is a bride's 90? We'll just let them figure that one out. Timmy, thanks for coming on the Hawks Nest. All the best for the rest of the season. Thanks, boys.
Thanks a lot.
That's our show. This week is annual Heritage Round with the Hawks taking on the Breakers on Friday night. The Hawks' heritage is one of the richest in Australian sport. This is a chance for everyone to experience firsthand what the NBL is all about and the excitement and passion of game night. As mentioned, ticket prices have been slashed to just $15 for adults, $10 for kids and $40 for a family pass. Get your tickets at ticketek.com.au or at hawks.com.au and get down to the WEC. We want the Hawks to take the court to a packed house. We'll be back with a new episode next week. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. I'm Glenn Saville and you've been watching The Hawks Nest. We'll see you next time.